Hi Felters, and welcome to day 21 of your Woodland advent calendar. Let's grab it. Here we go. Oh, there's not many bags. Right, this is quite a big one. Well, it's not huge, but this is a slightly bigger bag, so you should be able to find it quite easily. Let's open it up. This one I'm excited about. So, what do you think we have in there, those colours? Let's grab these out. Oh, there's more. There we go. Is that it? Yeah. Let's hold them up. So we have, I can't even hold it all. There we go. We have a Sombrero, an Antique, carded dark fawn. Then we've got these two other ones, which I'm going to list down below. I can't remember the names of them. That's probably eggshell tops and sienna. And then we've got a bit of Mocha and a bit of Raven and a pipe cleaner. If you guys know me, you know what this is. I'm sure you do. Let's show you. There's the bells. There we go. There we are. I had to do a little Highland Cow. So this is the only one which you might not want to do, or you might not want to put on your wreath. I had to do a Highland Cow because you guys know I love doing Highland cows and sheep and hares. I think he looks all right on the Woodland advent calendar. If you want, you could try and do something else from your stash, maybe an owl. If you've done your heads, because a couple of people have said their heads are a bit big, you might want to leave him off and just keep him for yourself. But when I sold these at Yarndale, I had about 3 and people went off wearing them and people kept coming back asking for them. So they are popular little things. So it's up to you if you want to make this one, but I'm going to show you how to make him. And he is, I think, going to be my latest or my next kit that I'm going to produce. So let's get started making him. Here he is a bit closer and you can see he's got eyes, nose, nice and simple, ears, horns. We've got a forelock, or what's the proper word? I'll try and remember it. And he's just constructed of a big lump and then a smaller lump on there, and then we layer up the wool. Super simple. And then I tied this on with a little bit of the embroidery thread, and I just like the bells. So we've got a mixture of, this is just antique. I'll go through the wools, and then this is a mixture of colours because I just thought it was different. But you can do it whatever colour you want. You can just do the antique if you want. So there he is. Let's pop him there. And the colours, Sombrero, Antique. This is Moorit Shetland, which is the one we used for the deer. This is a Merino Sandstone, and these will all be written down. And then dark fawn, Mocha and Raven. There you go, we've got all the names. Exactly. Right, so let's take out, we're just going to use this as the base. I should have given you plenty. So we'll take out a section. Just pop that there. So quite a longish section. And as before, it's a little bit crumpled. So just open it up. We're just going to literally sort of do this base bit. See how, I hope everyone's got enough glue. It's dried so hard. I've still got that much of my glue left, so I could easily do 2 more. But hopefully you've got enough. Otherwise, I said they were £3. They weren't. They're like £1 something on Amazon. So I'm just rolling up, just sort of forming the base of the head. So what we'll do is we'll do this this sort of shape, sort of wrapping it round. As in the middle, it sort of looks like a samosa, the way you're sort of rolling it. And then we'll put a bit around the outside to widen it. So very simple. Wrap it together. Here we go for the ruler hunt. There it is, got it, that's good. So it's about 2.5 inches in diameter. And we'll just, it's wrapped nice and tightly, so just bring it together so it doesn't lose its shape, basically. Do you know, you really don't even need Sombrero for the base because like none of it shows. The ears are Sombrero, they do show. And Sombrero is a lovely mixed colour from Wild of Wool for this. It works really well. And also the wool we had the other day, the Tiger's Eye, that's a lovely colour as well for Highland cows. Slightly deeper red, actually. So a couple of minutes just to make sure it doesn't sort of fall out of its shape. That's it. That bit there. So again, I'm deciding that's going to be the back, the base. So I'm going to take some more, I'm going to wrap it around the outside to widen it. Might have to do this once or twice. I don't think it's so not that big. Yeah, 2.5. So maybe only one wrap. So we're holding it along the edge, and I almost like to attach it first. And then make sure I'm just keeping it together. I'm not letting it spread out too much so that it stays along the edge and we get that widening. I've got quite a big Highland Cow head course on Thinkific. They used to sell quite a lot. They were really popular. I ought to do some more. Right, and just keep wrapping it around, just keeping it thin and in. I am not cleaning my mat much, so I do apologise if it's got lots of colours on it. But it's a working mat. There we go. Now it's quite soft, so it's going to go in a bit. So that's 3 and that's 2.5. So when we felt it in a bit, it's going to go a little bit softer. Now I think, yeah, I'm going to felt this all round a bit before I add the nose. I just want to see how level everything is. So I'll felt this all round and we'll forwards this bit up. See you in a minute. There we are, all firmed up, and it is indeed 2.5 wide. Yeah, fairly circular. Just that took me 6 minutes, I think it was, to firm it up. So we're just going to do a lower nose down here that's going to come out in sort of a triangle, if you can see. So that's inside all of this bit here, just to make the nose come forwards and out a bit, because that's how their heads look. So take a smallish section and we'll just see how it looks when it rolls up. If it's too if it's too big, I will take it back down. So I've literally bundled it up on itself. I'm just going to bring it together on the mat. So it's going to sit like that, and then we'll put a bit around it. It's about 1 inch high, 1.5 inches wide. So it's going on the lower half of the head. whilst it's nice and soft and fluffy, it's easy to attach. And you do want it to be wider at the base and then go up to a sort of narrower bit. But don't, you know, panic too much. Let's just get this attached and have a look at it. And we're going to build up this area here as well between the nose and the head. So I want it that way a bit more. Bit of squidging. Quite firm felting to make sure it definitely goes through. There we go. I'm just going to put a bit around the base. Take something that's long enough. We're going to have to at least halve it down because you don't want it to be too chunky. So I'm just going to put it all around the, sort of around the join area, basically. Helps strengthen the join and smooth it out. I don't think it needs to be that much bigger, you know. I might strengthen that nose bit, make that nose bit a bit more prominent, and then we'll do this bit down here as well. The eyes are going to go right in there. So I'm expecting, because it's got horns, because he has horns, at least an hour and a quarter to make this. And remember, the time of the video UC does include fast forwarded bits. So like the deer was about an hour and 12, but it was easily an hour and a half. So this bit here is just a bit weak. I mean, it doesn't, you know, you're going to put a load of hair on the top, so it's not really going to show. That's the thing with the long haired things that you make. If you make a hare with long hair, the muscle definition, a lot of it gets lost. You know, yeah, so I'm quite happy with how high that is. At least it comes out 2 inches out. But we're going to build up this bit here because that will help build up the end of the nose as well. So I'm just going to stack this, and this was a half slither. We'd split it down the side. No, I don't think. So I'm going to fold that under, and that is going to really help plump up that middle bit. So I folded that under because I'm happy with the height of the head, and then I want the nose to go a teeny bit higher. And the join marks don't matter because we're going to cover it up. Checking it's definitely central. Feels like it's moving a bit. Feels a little bit uneven. Let's just move that over. Right, and then push this down over the nose. That's nice. If you really look at Highland cows, their nose comes out a little bit more at the end. So I am going to build up the nose. So I'm just going to take a little teeny bit, shove it on the end there to make the nose a little bit more pronounced. And we are going to put the light coloured nostril bits anyway, so it's going to be even more pronounced. So this, technically it's going to be about an hour and a half, I reckon. And it's really hard because they're little brooches. So if you're selling them at £10, you know, you've got materials. You're not really making your money. So you've got to sell them at sort of 12, 15 easily to make your money back. And they are unique handmade things. So you should be selling them at that price. Right, so I'm just, yeah, feeling happy with the shape of that all. That feels a bit weak there. So because we're going to be putting fur, or planting fur into it, I don't want it to sink back. I'm just going to add a tiny bit more there. That just felt a little bit weak. So I'm just going to put a little bit there, just to firm it up. There we go. So I'm happy with that. And you can feel if it's feeling straight. So eyes wise, yeah, I just did black with the highlights. So the reason I didn't include plastic eyes or anything like that is because then you have to sort of talk about having an awl or an owl or whatever to make the holes. Then you'd probably need more glue. So it's just easier to do the embroidered eyes. And it's up to you because a lot of people do have those eyes at home. Right, just feeling if it's about the same size, I think it is. So it's good if you get 2 bits of wool out at the same time, then you know it's the same size. So we're doing the eyes, by the way. So I'm wrapping it up really small. And then I'm just going to take the red needle on the mat. We're going to go in a bit closer. So just bringing it together. The tighter you keep it when you first start, the easier it is. So that's the little ball. Then we're going to rub it between the hands. I don't know if you need a measurement, but... And I haven't rolled it between... Hold still. Kind of a quarter. It's about 1/3 of an inch. Right. Let's roll it between the hands. Get it nice and felted. Build up the heat. Oh, that's lovely. And then the same as before. Felt round the edge. Now, don't let these get too close. So we want it to sit out a little bit. I'll give you, so the distance between them is definitely 1.5 inches. Do I give you too many measurements? I don't know. You can kind of guesstimate it for yourself. Right, so I'm happy, and I've been all around the outside of it, and I'm just going to felt a little bit through the middle, so it's definitely on. But you're not going to see these eyes that clearly. We don't even need brown around the outside. So that's one. Let's do the other one. It's fiddly work, isn't it? Yep, that feels about the right size. You literally just have to get those first few stabs and it's together. If you've folded it, like I said, you can get a needle to hold it. You can wear finger guards. I don't know if this is a bit smaller, but if I'm just a bit gentle. There you go. Yeah, that's fine. Now, this is the bit I find easier as you turn it upside down. Putting a bit of shade on you though, isn't it? So I'm holding it there, starting the felting. First couple of stabs, and then we'll have a check. Don't want it going too wide. It's me going too wide there now. Bring it in a bit. Mind your fingers underneath, because I was stabbing downwards then. Yeah. Yeah, I keep looking at my deer, and I really think he should be darker, but you can add a bit if you've got any of the, I think it's the carded sienna from the other day. That's a lovely colour. Add some shading to him and that would really bring him out. I might still do that and you'll see him done. Right, so I went through the middle and we're going to do the highlight, of which I realise I didn't give you anything, but you can use the sandstone. So take a section, like a tiny little bit, and then we're going to snap it. So this is how you break up tops wool, and if you want it really short you can do that. So I'm doing two, one for each eye. Now I reckon this will go really small. And where did I put them? I sort of put them top and back in this one. I'll do the same. You can see that. Yeah, that worked fine. There's the bit. You could barely see that on the mat. And do similar for this side. I'm so sorry if you have dogs, and my dogs are setting your dogs off. Let's see if they'll stop. I'll carry on. Right, it's not too bad. They're in. And they kind of are going to get a bit covered up with wool anyway. So we'll do the little nose. See how quick he is? It's very quick. So we're going to do the nosy nostril bit. You only need a small amount because by the time you're going to fold it up. So it's a little bit oblong shape. So we're going to fold it round like that. That's a really good shape. We'll bring it together on the mat first. So we've got the shape and length that we want, and we're just going to tuck the ends under. So I tucked that end you can see, so one end's tucked under, one isn't. So tuck this end under as well. So that's quite neat. So we've got a rough shape, and now we can put it on. And so it goes like right on the end of the nose. Don't go too low, don't go too high. Sort of bang on the end. So I'm just giving it, I did sort of shape that end bit, turn it round, make sure it's level. And I'm sort of tucking this end bit in and under as well. But you want to felt through the middle before you really do the edge. To check you're happy with it. So we'll get it on, and then we've felt the middle bit down a bit, put two little black dots. It's just a suggestion of a nose. And again, we'll have quite a bit of hair around it. So your edges don't have to be shamazing. Basically, I just turn it upside down so I can carry on felting on this side. So it's not the best shape, it's not bad. So I'll just go in the middle there, just to give it, don't go mad, but just a little bit of a shaping, a little bit of a division. So two little, we go brown Mocha dots. You could do black, but why do I do certain colours in certain places? I don't know. So it's like a really tiny amount of wool and just roll it together. Again, I took two the same. There you go. See how it's a tiny amount of wool, but there's definitely a brown dot there. I was saying to my patrons, I watched, I have the video that Anna Potapova does she does dolls. So I'm turning it upside down to do the other one. And she's got a video on Etsy of how to do hands. And the wool, the tiniest amount of wool that she takes. Now this is, turn it upside down. Just checking it's roughly right in level. If it's a little bit unlevel, you can literally push this like that and level it out a bit. That's cute. Oh, very sweet. So we'll do the ears, which they're attached at the back here. Super simple. You've got plenty of wool. So what I might do, no, I'm going to take a shortish section. So it's about 3 inches, 2 to 3 inches. And then we'll just do the twist round technique. So easy. And ready, 1, 2, 3, twist. It just gets you the best shape for like Highland Cow ears. You get the rounded edge. You don't need the point. So we are, because you had some speeding up bits, 31 minutes to get to this point. So yeah, when you, something like an ear, you don't want it to fall apart. You don't just like pull it. So I peel and support. I'm sure I've said that before, but just double checking. Because I know this tutorial, if people see it in the future, without doing the wreath, you can just come and do these Highland Cow brooches, which will be super cute. So in case you haven't heard me say all these things before, so I'm just turning it over. I'm not even going to super define the edges because they look pretty good. Holding that in bit there, so we've got something fluffy. The amount of times I must have said something fluffy. Right. So I'm pretty happy. Any, bits or bumps that you're not happy with the ear, you can just, now I think that way. Just don't want too many bits sticking up, so we're going to do them like that. Just fold them over. Belt down there. And then we'll just be attaching them. Now they are level or just underneath the top of the head because you've got your horns to go up here as well. Now I'm just going to attach this one and then make the other. So I'll just show you from the front, just get that line attached so that it's sticking out a little bit. Oh, I didn't measure them. I'm naughty. Right. So from the side of the head here, it's just under an inch. I can't remember. I'll measure the next one. But I should imagine they were about 1 inch and a bit wide. And you've got lots of lovely fluffiness to keep them attached. And I want this back bit to be flat as well. So that's that. Let's do the other one. So nice. I don't want that black colouring there. Nice small section. Twist it round. Right, felt it down. So 1.5, 1.5. So I'll make this one up. See you in a minute. Here he is with his 2 ears and his sad looking little face with no fur. Sorry, it just looked a bit soft and fluffy. And there. Right, so there's his 2 ears. I'm going to do the horns because the horns have to be attached now because we have to attach them firmly and then put the doolan, that's the word. That's the word for forelock. Thank you for one of my subscribers for that a long time ago. Right, so the horns are going to be... I just do it this way so that I don't have the sharp ends. Right, so yeah, they are 6 inches. Just double checking. So this is 12 inches. So just to make your life easier. So go 6 inches, fold in. Fold in. I don't like having a sharp bit at the end, so that's why I'm doing it like this. Actually, I might do it a little teeny bit shorter. 5.5. Don't worry. It's just it makes it stronger through the middle that you've got the pipe cleaner there. So that's the length it's going to be. They're going to sit on the top like that. Obviously shaped better. And it's the carded dark fawn. So split your slither that you've got and then we're going to roll it up and along. So I start from the middle out, and I guess I roll it differently too when you've got little tiny bits. So just keep it nice and tight, roll to the end, tear it off. I'm going to use all of this and give it a twist. And then, because it's nice and small, I tend to use a finer needle just to secure it. And folding over the ends is a lot easier than doing the antlers. They were quite hard, so I've just sort of gone up and over the end. We'll add a little bit more, so it'll definitely go up and over. And I'm just giving it a rough felt through like that. Okay, so do the same on the other side. I'll start with the long one. And work my way out. I'm just sort of looking as to whether you have enough dark fawn, but I know you have loads left over in the rest of your set, so I'm sure. But if anyone that is short, do let me know. I should be fine with that amount. I don't know why. Surely that's enough. So I've rolled it round. That's looking a bit chonky. Chonkier than I thought, but the other side will end up bigger anyway when we put the next layer on. So just sort of, yeah, there's a bit of white still showing. With the dark fawn, it doesn't really matter with the tiniest bit of white coming through, but we will just go past the ends and neaten them up in a minute. So that's the other side just sort of on. And I'm really sorry about the matte colour. Oh, you can see it in the camera. God, it's lighter here. So that's the first layer. And then we're going to take, so these are pretty similar in length that I had left. So we're going to thicken up at the base and work our way out. So I'm happy for like a little 2 wraps just there, and then start to work your way up. And I don't want, are we covered enough? Yeah, I don't want the ends to be super thick, so I'm going to keep this nice and thin as I go up. There we go, that's good. Yeah, I will have enough, but I know you have plenty of wool left over in the rest of your kit. So just make sure it's definitely covered. Yeah, it is. Sometimes there's little yellow patches in this dark fawn. I mean, that's going to be covered up, so that's not a problem. But it's a bit of an unusual streak sometimes in the dark fawn. So that's that side. And I'm going to take this one. And, you know, don't worry about this bit in the middle being super, super chunky and thick, because we're going to attach it to the head and it's going to get covered up. So, yeah, I'm happy with that. Yeah, I do have enough. Only just. Let's make sure we've got something to cover the little white bit that was showing. Right, just check that's all attached. Right, yes, I'm happy. Oh, that's looking a bit thicker on that side. So I will felt that in a bit, but see, there's a definite size difference. Well, there's a little bit, and because I have got this little tiny bit, I am just gonna wrap that round and even it up a bit. There we go. Use up the wool. Okay. Right, so sorry, just moving around in the chair. Now that's sort of all on and it's still a little bit fluffy. Now I like to spend about 10 minutes firming all of it up, which it does need a bit more firming, I would say. But yeah, I like to just sort of go over it. So I'm just going to go over it now and firm it all up. Let's go in a bit. So you can see, is that definitely focusing? Yeah. So I just like to go in and just make sure it's really well attached, basically. Feed it round, rolling, felting. This does take, like I said, at least 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes. So I'll do this bit. I just sort of wanted to show you where I've done that first bit. So I've done that bit down there, and I'll carry on doing the rest. So I'll see you in a minute. Here we are, all smoothed. Now, just to note as well, I didn't really go that mad with the smoothing in the middle because it gets covered up, so there's no need to worry about it. and we are going to attach it. So it's going to go along the top like that. It's almost like, it looks like a sort of a longhorn cow. It's got a little bridge over the top. So you want to, if you're struggling, make sure you like to level it out. Find the middle point. That's the middle point of the head. And then you know, even though it's just moved, that that should be the middle point. But it's not really a problem. Oh, I broke my big 32 a while ago. Really must get another one. So I'm just going to felt right behind it and right in front of it. And almost by leaving it a bit fluffy, you've got a little bit more wool to play with there to help attach it. So this is just loose. So I'm double checking. Yeah, I'm happy. Oops, happy with the lengths. So we'll take some Sombrero. Just a smallish section. And I'm going to go out a bit. So we take the Sombrero, just a small section, and you're going to feed it over the top like that, front and back, and go right underneath it. So you are not catching the pipe cleaner at all. And then right on top, you don't want the eyes to be covered, and you're going right in front of it. So you can get some good long firm stabs in basically without the worry of the pipe cleaner. So you see like that. You guys know, if you've made any of my Highland cows, how to do this. And then I just scrunch this wool down because it's all going to be covered up. And then this will put away. And I'm just going a little bit higher, just catching the very back of the horn there. I can feel, don't panic too much, and you can do a couple of gentle stabs through because you know the pipe cleaner's right in the middle. And that way, you just know how secure it is then. And then this you just want to feed down because you don't want it in a big bump. For the felt, when we glue the felt on, you want this to be a nice flat area. So we are 55 minutes to get to this point. I don't know why I keep looking at the clock. And don't worry, he'll look even. Just that looks a little bit to the right, but he'll look even when he's got wool on the top. And so with the wool, we'll start to do that next. I'm just going to go and get a cup of tea, and we'll start underneath here, going forwards to the sides, under the eyes, up, over to here. Super easy. And then add the fringe or doulan, and we'll have a little fluffy Highland cow. Right, I'll go and get a tea. Back in a sec. I have my tea. We're not going to need the ruler. Probably going to get wool in my tea. So we're going to use the Antique, and the other two top swirls are going to be for the feature for the top. So we're going to take a little section out. So hold it, you know, if you're new, you know, you don't hold it like that. Hold it very gently, pull it out. Lengthen your hands apart if you're having trouble pulling stuff out. Now, because we want the wool to be super short here, we're just going to cut it. It's got a little section, and I like to, sometimes you don't have to, I turn it round like that so that I've got even bits, and we're going to trim it again anyway. So we're going to sort of do right under here, working forwards. So the first bit here, just spread it out a little bit. I'm going to make it cover all the way across. Doesn't need to be super thick. And we just felt down and through the middle of it, along that line there. I hold it down to begin with, And then if you see, if you keep going, it starts to sort of raise up and really point downwards, which is where you want it to be. You're just going to layer it up. I'm going to cut as we go. So the length of the wool, okay, we do need the ruler, is, I sort of trimmed it just over, I can't see, just over 1/2 inch in length. These bits you can keep and use for inside of core wool or something. So the other section that we cut, I'm going to just turn it over. So it just creates a sort of even thick bit instead of having the thinness. Now I think we'll just work our way forwards. So we're going to go about there. So it's literally a centimetre. I shouldn't swap between the two, but that looks about a centimetre to me. Remember, if you do this wrong, you just pull it out, start again, no panic. There we go. See, that's a little bit long, so we're going to cut that off again. I think cutting as you go is better because, well, for this, because if you suddenly turn around at the end, you've got loads to trim. So, and I'm just spreading it out a bit. Yeah, that's fine. And pull out another smallish section. Cut this in half. It's just reducing wastage by cutting it in half, basically. And do a little swap. This is a bit of a thicker section here, so I'm really going to have to spread it quite wide. I don't want it being too chunky. Same sort of distance. And I've just spread it a little bit wider. So I hold it for a bit because otherwise sometimes you start to pull in bits into the line, which that you don't want to do that either. You want to still be able to see where you're felting. Right, so that's that. I'm not doing any cute cutting at the moment. It's just literally getting it done. And then we're going to do a very thin layer in here. So see, you've still got quite a distance, but I'm going to do one just there, not right by the nose, just there. So I'm going to fill in that little gap, and I'm going to literally just halve this and use that half, because I really don't want a massive amount. I want to see what I'm doing, so still keeping it thin as I get it in, so it's just that little width there. And now I can let it go. Give it a few more stabs, and then we'll see that these bits, once you trim them, I'm not cutting that much off because it was such a tiny bit. These bits sort of end up coming up near the nose anyway. So, and you see it's almost too long because it will cover the nose. So I might just trim it down just the bit by the nose there. I don't want my nostrils to be, well, his nostrils to be covered up. So keep that bit for in a second. So next we're gonna, I tend to sort of work up like that, work up the side in layers, do round here, do the bits here, up the nose, and then we're done. All of a sudden it will be done. So pull out another section. Like I said, I'm just literally holding on to these end bits, so I'm trying not to get massive sections. Now at the side, so there's still quite a lot here. So just had Sainsbury's food shop arrive. I now have cold tea. Never mind, I might heat it up in a bit. So where were we? We were just, we'd turn these two upside down, or one going one way, one going the other. We're going to go all the way along here, that bit there. So you don't need to go too far back, and you don't need to go right on top of the nose, but close to it. Nice little line. I'll just check I'm recording. I am. So again, I've gone up about a centimetre. There we go. Nice firm felts. Now this I am going to cut in either a downward or an upward direction. So I'm going to go down at this bit here. There we go. Give it a little combing out. See if it's too, see if it's too long. It's not too bad. That bit there's a bit long, just there sticking out a bit. And you see there was a little gap just sort of there. You can literally cover it up a bit. You can give it a few pokes as well, but this is sort of what we'll do more towards the end when we're neatening and tidying everything up. Get rid of those long bits, do the same on the other side. That was a bit I had from earlier, wasn't it? This doesn't feel very thick, so I think I'll use that up. Oops. So it's just a bit awkward. Trying to hold it all. Doesn't take much for it to attach as well. Now this is where you might be more comfortable cutting up, but if you cut up it'll be just like that. You can do a bit of trimming into it afterwards if you really want to. Let's see if I've got any long bits basically. It's a little bit fluffy out there. It's almost such fun trimming it all in. There we go. So, looking at where we are, I'm going to do two small ones here and here. There and there. Then we'll probably do one round there, work up the nose, one at the top, and then Bob's your uncle. So, taking out a smallish section again. So because we're going to do this little bit here, we don't want the section to be too big. Just a little line there. Again, it's up a short gap from the one below. Couple of firm felts. And then this one you probably are going to have to, once you trim it, point it, felt it in, going downwards a bit, because it ends up sticking up. If you over trim a bit, you can pull it off and replace it. Do not worry. Do not sort of fear the trimming. And then I want that to just go sort of under the eye a bit. Same on the other side. I think it helps if your scissors are sharp. That's probably something important to recognise if your scissors aren't that sharp. So that's that bit. Just do up the sides here before we go up the nose. So I'm going to take that one half of a section that I had, turn it round, and then we're going to go up the side here to cover this area by the eye. You don't actually have to place wool super close to the eye. It's the same as the nose. You just get fairly close and then felt it in a bit. So you can leave these bits a teeny bit longer, don't trim the ear off. Yeah, I have left them just a tiny bit longer, just so I can play with it around the eye. Like that. I always say when we're doing these cows, they look awful right till you put the last bit on, the forelock, the doolan. So same again, turn that round. And it's up the side here. Like, I don't know if it makes that much difference turning the wool round, but I feel it does. So I do it. There we go. See how I'm quite far from the eye there, but see how it is when I've trimmed it, whether we need to put any more in. And this one I'm sort of trimming outwards. No, I think it's fine. Yeah, it's good. You can, oh, look at his wonky horns. You can fill in any bits right towards the end, actually, if they do look bad. Right, so we're going to go up the nose, so smaller section here, definitely a little bit up from it, not right on top of it. Sometimes if you think, oh, that's too much fluff, what you do is you step this up a little bit more, so it's almost got another, so see, that's the one I did. Sometimes you can just felt it in there, and then it gives you a slightly thinner layer. I probably would have left a bit more up here, but it was just feeling a bit thick, so I'll do that. And then you do have to felt it down a bit. You might not even need to trim it that much. So it just gave it a tiny bit of distance. Just put that in there a bit. So yeah, the nose area you do have to felt downwards at the base, otherwise it sort of sticks up. And then the same, another bit here. Probably going to do it that way around. See, because that's the thinner end. That was quite thick. So close-ish to the eyes, but not, you know, right on top of them. Just bring it down. You can start to have some of that go sort of up and around the eyes. And so sometimes I just felt some of that in a little bit. So it gives you the nosy sticky out. You know, that bit there goes in a little bit. Right, just clean it up. So we are, I reckon, we'll just do one bit across here and then we'll put the fringe on. And it's like, what? It's done. Pull a section off. Cut through. Might not be enough. Oh, I think it is actually. Let's have a look. Yeah, there's quite a bit there. So we are going about there. So not at the top, just up a bit from that one. Because you don't really need one right at the top because the fringe covers it all. Bring that forwards. So a lot of this will be hidden. Right. So just a little bit of shaping. So you want to see the eyes. Don't really want to see the base wool underneath, which is why even it's in Sombrero, it's not even going to be seen. And then that's the top bit, which is going to be felted down a bit. Okay, let's get rid of this. So that is where we're at for now. That's kind of a bit annoying. Let's get rid of that. You can play around with this for ages. I like to shape him down a bit more like that. So wider face, narrower down here, which means that's going to just come down a little bit. We'll have a look once we put the fringe on. I'll stop faffing. So, yeah. The fringe is a mixture of the antique. So you want a nice, this is where you do go for a slightly bigger, longer section. And I'll just show you how we're going to do it. What I generally do is do it like that and then fold it forwards. Oh, it looks lovely already. So you get sort of a longer section out of it. And we're going to take some of these wools. It's up to you. That's the colouring. The effects I'm just sort of going to go for. Just going to put some finer strands. And they're sort of more so not on the underneath. You'll see. Just watch me do this maybe. That's pretty. Might just have a little bit through the top. I feel I've blended that better than the first one, that's for sure. So that's the bit you want to finish as the top bit. So quite often what we're going to do is attach it back here, and then that will capture all of those hairs in and they will go forwards. Hopefully. So look at where your point is. So we definitely want it to be caught at the back about there. Turn you round. Let's get this right. So it's going to be upside down like that. So we want that bit there to be felted in at the back here. Because what you do is you fold it all forwards. But you want to have made sure you've caught those little extra colours. You can add some extras on top if they slip out, don't panic. Don't panic, Mr. Mannering. Right. Lots of felting. Right, so this bit's, you know, it's great, but it's sort of a little bit excess. We don't really need it. So we're just going to felt it down there so it stays forwards, because this pokes up otherwise. I'm just going to trim this bit now a bit first. A nice big cut through, because we don't really need the, it might be too thick. We'll just have a look. So bring your nice stuff over. Going to poke that under. Oh yeah, that's pretty. See some bits falling out, but we had enough, so it's not a problem. And we're going to felt this behind so that it stays forwards. We don't want to felt the top much at all, but we do end up doing a couple of odd stabs. but no one's going to see this bit here, so that's fine. And then so you can't leave him like that because he looks silly. So we'll just definitely take off a few bits here. The easiest pattern I've found with this forelock head, so you can see the eyes, is you fan it out and then you're going to do the edges at a slight angle. And then you might have to tidy those up a bit so they're not so seriously sort of chonky. Now, if you want to do the odd stab to keep it down, I do that and then I ruffle it. So this is the other side. I have to do this from upside down because it's quite awkward. And then I do shape. That edge bit looks bad, so you don't want that. And I can see there's too much wool there. What's going to get in the way? And then the combing, get rid of that bit under there. The combing is what really helps as well. Now, I just think that the sort of shaping up at the edges is the best way of him having a fringe, still looking cute with the fringe, but still being able to see the eye. And then we do have a bit of faffing. All right, let's get his horns even. I don't like that covering the nose. So this bit's annoying as well. So I tuck the chinny bits in. To give him a nicer shaped head. And he's looking just a bit too long here. See, if you had to do all this shaping at the end, I just think it's too much in one go and you might overly shape him. So you can have the ears quite out, the horns quite out, or you can have them up. It's up to you how you want the horns. I quite like them out a little bit and up, but that's completely down to you. But there he is. Let's have a little double check. So the colourings were a bit chunkier on that one, a bit thicker. There we go. He is all done. That is your Highland Cow or Highland Cow. Don't forget to put the brooch on the back, just like that one. Make sure it is definitely towards the top of the circle. If you put it too far down, it's going to sort of hang and tip forward, so you definitely want it up a bit. But yeah, that's it. Yeah, so put your brooch on the back, and with this I just sewed that on there with the thread and the needle that you've got. But yeah, there's your Highland Cow all done. Well done. We'll see you tomorrow.